All right, Stephen A. Smith. Love him or hate him, he's probably the biggest voice in sports media, at least on the TV right now. There's probably YouTubers that get way more views than him and have a bigger following than him, even though he doesn't realize it. He thinks he's the biggest voice of sports, and his he knows the most about basketball, and his opinion is just superior to all of us peasants. And yeah, basically what Stephen A. was saying, they had interviewed LeBron James after the Minnesota Timberwolves game last night. They were asking LeBron James about Anthony Edwards, basically declining being the face of the league. He's saying, "No, I don't want all that. I just want to play basketball and go home." So they're asking LeBron about this, and LeBron basically says, I don't blame Anthony Edwards for just wanting to play basketball and go home. He says, who wants to be the face of the league when all the media does these days is just shit on the league and say bad things about the league? He's like, who would want to jump into that spot and have to deal with all of that? LeBron said, I don't blame Anthony Edwards. LeBron's the best one to basically say this because the past 20 years, LeBron's been the most negatively criticized player of all time. Honestly, if Kobe or Jordan was around, kind of playing that same time LeBron was playing, it may have been different. Just with social media and all these different things, your name and your face gets out all over the world faster than ever. So LeBron, I don't think that's crazy to say. Comment below what you think, but I think he's definitely been the most heavily negatively criticized player in NBA history. But anyway, Stephen A. Smith is basically saying, after LeBron said this, Stephen A. saying, "Man, you make all this money in the NBA. You secure yourself financially, and now you want to talk bad about the position you were in. Basically, you're saying you don't respect being the face of the league, and basically trying to say to Anthony Edward and these younger guys, hey, y'all don't want to do that. Everyone's just gonna talk crap about you the whole time, and it's not like a great place to be." So Stephen A's point was basically, hey LeBron, you made all this money, you're set for life, and now you're crapping on the face of the league position that you basically used to be in, and kind of making that position look bad, maybe deterring other guys from wanting to step into that position to be the face of the league. But it's so hypocritical from Stephen A. Smith saying this because Stephen A. Smith made all this money. He's set for life financially. I'm not a pocket watcher, but he's watching LeBron's pocket, so I can come back and talk about his finances as well. I think that's fair. But Stephen A. Smith says all this stuff. He's made it to the top in sports media. He's the big dog in sports media. I think that's fair to say, whether you like it or not. But then Stephen A. comes back. They're talking about social media, and Stephen A. Smith says, "Oh, social media. That's not the real media. Like, social media is not media." Like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm watching you on YouTube right now. What do you mean social media is not the media? Like, why is ESPN showing their stuff on YouTube if it's not the real media? Why do they have Instagram accounts and all this stuff? It is the real media, old man. Like, just get used to it, Stephen A. Smith. Just because, people didn't pick me or pick other people to put their face on TV, just because we didn't have to work. I'll give Stephen A. Smith, we didn't have to work as hard as you being a journalist and doing all these things just to get that opportunity to be on TV. If Stephen A. Smith was 25 years old today and he started a YouTube channel, he'd probably get a gigantic YouTube channel sooner or later, just with his personality and things like that. But to say that social media is not real media, you make money off of social media, dude. Like, your video on YouTube has, I won't even say millions of views. It's like hundreds of thousands. First Take and ESPN's presence on YouTube is way smaller than a bunch of these basketball, NFL, different channels on YouTube. They dominate the YouTube space over ESPN, and Stephen A. and other people are kind of butthurt that they're used to being the main face of things, their whole life. Like, I'm the person in the media. Everything I say is going to be, the top opinion, and everyone's going to think of it that way. But now that the YouTube space has opened up, there's other places you can watch basketball and get takes from, and watch people do actual analysis on basketball instead of trying to just be entertaining for an hour and just say wild things. Stephen A. and these ESPN people are getting kind of I don't know if they're worried, or I don't know. I said butthurt. I'll just stick with butthurt. But Stephen A. Smith thinks his opinion is the top opinion, just superior to everyone else's opinion. And then he says social media is not real media, and that's kind of frustrating. Like, bro, you're just on a TV screen like everyone else. I watch YouTube on my TV. I watch YouTube on my laptop. You're no different than these other social media people, except you have a bigger following because you jumped onto a large network in ESPN, and people just watch it. People are used to watching cable. They're used to you popping up myself included. So I will still watch you, but it's not because social media is not real media where I watch First Take. I'm like, man, these are all the best, most credible opinions. They usually have the most ridiculous opinions. Stephen A. Smith does not watch basketball games. You can tell if you watch his analysis. He just watches highlights and just says the same repetitive takes that have worked for him over the years just to get viewers, and it's just really lazy. Another thing too, um, I think I was saying he criticized LeBron, because LeBron was in that position. He's the face of the league, and then again he makes all this money, and then he says that LeBron's making other people not want to be the face of the league. Stephen A. Smith takes no accountability for himself or for any of the media. He just says, man, LeBron's crapping on being the face of the league, and now Anthony Edwards, the next face of the league. You can agree with that or don't agree with that, but people are trying to push him. So Stephen A. basically said, oh, Anthony Edwards is going to see LeBron, crapping on being the face of the league, and then maybe he won't want to be the face of the league. Well, Stephen A. Smith, maybe I want to go into sports media on YouTube, or maybe I want to be a journalist and try to make it up to your position, and then you just crap on social media. All that's not real media. You know, it is real media, Stephen A. Smith. I hate to break it to you, but there's people on YouTube that get way more views than you get live on ESPN. They get way more views than you get, especially on YouTube. And cable TV is not the thing anymore, Stephen A. Smith. It's streaming, it's YouTube, and other things like that to get your sports takes. I'm sure there still are some people, but most people don't look at Stephen A. Smith and think, man, his sports opinion is just superior to everyone else. I think a lot of people just look at his sports opinion and think, I guess you can say it's a joke. I guess it's I don't want to call it a joke because I do like Stephen A. Smith for the most part, but I'm just trying to be entertaining. Again, it's an entertainment show. It's not a sports analysis show. It's entertainment first. Stephen A. Smith even said himself, it's the audience. It's the audience that dictates what we talk about because if I do 3 LeBron topics and I get more viewership by doing those 3 LeBron topics than I do by going over Giannis and then going over Jokic and then going over Shane Gilgeous-Alexander. If 3 LeBron videos get more viewership than the three varied videos with actual basketball analysis, then I'm gonna make the 3 LeBron videos and talk crap about LeBron or praise LeBron just because it gets more views and just more entertaining for people, I suppose. He said some other things. Let me see. He was saying just ridiculous stuff out there. They had Gilbert Arenas on there as well, and Gilbert was trying to be quiet because you could tell everyone on the panel did not agree with Stephen A. Smith. He's just basically saying it's all the players' fault. Like none of this is the media's fault, and that's what frustrates me with the players, the audience, and the media. It's not 100% anyone's fault. I'd say you can say the audience is largely at fault, but the audience watches the media. The media craps on the game of the NBA. Then the NBA players crap on the media. It's just a triangle of just everyone hating on each other. I'll say I think the audience is partially at fault, but I have to say I'm going to say it's 0% the audience fault. You're not going to agree with me. I partially don't even agree with myself, but I'm going to say it's 0% the audience fault because if you've ever worked in business, the buyer is never wrong. It's never the consumer's fault. Like if you ever sell anything, you gotta appease your consumer, whatever it is. I used to do car sales. If I'm trying to sell a car to someone, they don't want to buy it, whatever it is. I can't say, oh, it's your fault. You don't love this Camry or whatever. We have a white one. You wanted a black one. You know what I mean? Like it's your fault that you don't like this, and then blame the consumer or blame the audience. That's rule number one in business. It's never the consumer's fault. You got to look at yourself, change yourself and change something with your game plan to make it more entertaining or more appeasing to the consumer. So that's why I say it's 0% the audience's fault. That's not true. I'm sure there's some percentage there, but you know what I'm saying from a business standpoint. You got to change your business to keep the consumer happy. The consumer doesn't have to change what they like to keep your business successful, if that makes sense. So I mean, it's some kind of division between the media and the players. What frustrates me, people like Stephen A. Smith. Again, I like Stephen A. Smith. I watch First Take all the time. Just had a terrible take in this instance, so I'm going to call it out. Just like Stephen A. Smith says, if someone else has a terrible take or a basketball player is playing bad, you're just going to say it is what it is. If a player has a bad game, they're going to say it. If Stephen A. has a bad take, I'm going to bring it up as well. But that's what annoys me. Players and media, nobody will even take 1% fault. It's just like everyone meet in the middle and try to make it work out. But the problem is ESPN and these entities, they just kind of leech off the NBA. They don't really care about the NBA's image. They just care about saying entertaining things and you know what I mean, just getting eyes on their show to watch First Take. If people are watching First Take because they have 10 topics, 10 negative topics about LeBron, but they got 10 million views, and then the next day they did 10 videos, just great sports analysis of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, Giannis, whoever it is. They just go over like 10 different players and just do awesome sports analysis of them and just break down their games in a great way, which Stephen A. Smith probably could do if he wanted to. Again, I can tell he doesn't watch basketball anymore except for maybe 1 or 2 games a week. He just watches the highlights and goes back to his same repetitive talking points that have gotten him viewers, for the last 10, 20 years, however long it's been now. But, doesn't do sports analysis. Like I said again, it was just 10 negative LeBron videos and they got 10 million viewers, and the next day they did those 10 different actual basketball analysis videos, but they got 5 million viewers. Guess what they're going to do the next day? They're going to go back to negative LeBron topics, positive LeBron topics, whatever it is. Let me know below what you think. But I can only watch 1 or 2 videos of First Take per day because, the clips I'm watching, it'll be 4 or 5 different LeBron topics. It's like, bro, and that's another thing too. It's like, bro, let LeBron go, promote Jason Tatum. You can try to promote Anthony Edwards. He hasn't really won it, but promote Giannis, promote Nikola Jokic, promote your foreign players. It's so annoying. They feel like they can only promote American players. I don't know what it is. It's ESPN. It's an American company. They feel like they have to promote America and American players, I guess. But then they say it's a global game. We got to build the game globally. And then LeBron just gets crapped on by people like Stephen A. Smith and just the media in general. And then he tells someone like Anthony Edwards, you probably don't want to be the face of the NBA because they're just gonna crap on you. And then you know what I mean? Maybe a younger kid coming in as a rookie to the NBA, he might just be like, man, I never want to be the face of the NBA. I just want to, like Anthony Edwards, I just want to ball and go home, and do my thing. But yeah, that frustrated me. Him saying social media is not the media. Like, bro, you're not above people on social media. There's basketball channels on social media that get way more views than ESPN gets, definitely on YouTube, and they probably get more views than ESPN throughout the entire month if you really broke it down. So, that was just a joke for Stephen A. Smith to say social media is not real media, especially when I'm watching your ass on YouTube, bro. Like, how out of touch can you be? Yeah, that pissed me off, him saying social media is not real media. Another thing that frustrates me, players and media, neither one of them can take even 1% of the blame. Like, meet in the middle and kind of start taking some baby steps, Have the media say, okay, this one little thing is our fault. We're going to try to work better to talk a little less negatively about the players, whatever it is. Then the players just say, this one little thing is our fault. We can work to be better at this one little thing. Then the media gets a little better. The players get a little better. Comment below what you think the solutions may be, because I don't know, exactly what the little things are that they should do. But, us going in circles again, I cut the audience out of it. Comment below what you think. I'm sure the audience is partially at fault too, but they hear the negativity from the media and the players. It trickles down to the audience, makes them want to watch less. And again, the buyer, the consumer is never wrong in business. The fans, they don't owe the NBA or the players. They don't owe them anything. They don't pay my bills. They don't give me money. They just give me entertainment. And if the entertainment starts to come down, they're going to watch less. If the media people is talking crap all the time, I'm going to watch a movie and you said, man, that movie sucks, dude. Don't go watch that movie. And then 3 or 4 other people told me that movie sucks. Like, I'm probably not going to watch the movie. If you're going to become a new basketball fan or you're thinking about watching the NBA, then you watch a couple TV shows and you hear, that's again why I say it's the players and the media's fault. I'm not going to do a percentage of the blame. Let me know what you think it is. But, say you want to become an NBA fan, you're going to watch a game tonight for the first time. And then you hear Stephen A. Smith say, oh, man, the players suck, this and that, players suck. And then you hear LeBron and the players saying, man, the media sucks. It's all the media's fault. It's just blame deflecting on both ends. I'd say the commissioner is probably more to blame than anyone because back when David Stern was in the NBA, we kind of rule with an iron fist. But I feel like the players just have almost too much control now, and then that players talk bad about the media talks bad about the players, and then we just never really get anywhere. Let me know what you think if you saw Stephen A's spiel there. It was just ridiculous. He's just saying basically, again, just taking no culpability on the media's end. Stephen A needs to realize you're in such a high up point. LeBron gets this. When LeBron says stuff, it trickles down to the players. People kind of act like him. They repeat him, and he has an impact on on the NBA and the league as a whole. Stephen A. Smith, I'm pretty sure he does understand this, but he's just trying to be entertaining. Like when you say stuff, Stephen A. Smith, not myself, but other YouTubers, other people in life will just hear what you say. They'll hear your talking point and just spew it out to other people, whether they realize they're doing it or not. So just been hitting us over the head for so long. Media, the players are lazy, the players suck, they always say the wrong things. Whether they believe that or not, again, it's just an entertainment show. It's not a sports analysis show. And the players, I feel like rightfully, say, man, the media just shits on us all the time. Like LeBron said, why would you want to be the face of the NBA? But again, it's a spectrum. It's somewhere in between. It's not 100% this person's fault or 100% this person's fault. But that's what frustrates me. LeBron James won't take 1% of the blame. Stephen A. Smith and the media won't take 1% of the blame. Brian Windhorst actually made the point. I think Shanae Ogwumike made the point as well. It's somewhere in between. But then people like Stephen A. Smith, when you have such a huge ego, people like LeBron, when you have such a huge ego. Again, I like both guys. I like LeBron. I like Stephen A. But it's like, bro, just grow up a little bit and just let your ego wash away a little bit and say, okay, LeBron, you're the example for the players. Stephen A. Smith, you're kind of the example for the media. Like I was saying before, just say we can improve this one little thing. Whatever it is, improve that little thing in the media, improve that little thing amongst the players, and then just keep working to make things better. The NBA is not over. Like I said, Stephen A. Smith does not watch games. He just says the same old repetitive talking points that have kept him entertaining up until this point. If you actually watch some of the games, there are more threes being shot than ever, but all the teams are different play styles. It's not as bad as the media types try to make it out to be. NBA was way more boring in the dead ball era. It was like 97 to 2004, I think. Just slow pace, barely any scoring, bunch of post-ups, really slow pace and just not great to watch. People would complain about that. Now here we are in 2025. Man, these teams are scoring way too many points and this and that, and just complaining about scoring being out of control. So, it's just weird. Please comment below if you think it's the media, the players' fault, the audience's fault. Again, I think it's a combination of all three. I put the audience lowest down again because if you're a business, which the NBA is a business, First Take and ESPN, they are a business. If you're a business, especially an even better example, if you're in the entertainment business and people start finding you less entertaining, you can't blame your buyers, you can't blame your consumers, you can't blame the audience. You have to look at yourself and see what you can do to be more entertaining. But please comment below what you think about Stephen A. Smith's comments and just why you don't think the media or the players can take even 1% culpability. That's what frustrates me. They're just both so hard-headed that they can't meet in the middle to try to make things better. Whatever the way would be to make things better. Yeah, I'm at a big 28 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 30 by the end of the day. And YouTube said they'll send me the diamond ring. So please like and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.